This conference will now be recorded.
Guys, good morning. Can you hear me? Let's understand about the flow controls today. So yesterday we had a discussion about bitwise operators, right? Bitwise operators and operator precedence, all the stuff. So let's understand about the flow controls today. Okay, I'm going to create a new file here. Flow controls. Yes, what do you know about flow controls? Can you ping me in the chat box? What do you know about the flow controls? I would say flow control statements. Okay, so these are also just like your coding syntax. Okay, so how do we have different code syntaxes, like to define a variable x equal to x is a variable and value you are giving something like, so you are following some syntax, right? So even for flow control statements also kind of Python statements. Okay, Python statements where we are going to control the execution flow. So what does it mean? What does it mean? It's like controlling the execution flow. So depends on the requirement. Depends on the requirement. We might need to execute the same code again and again. We might need to skip a few lines of code from the execution, right? So depends on the logic. Depends on the logic. We control the execution flow. So when you have, imagine just when you have 100 lines of code, your program has 100 lines. Your program has 100 lines. Now, how the execution flow goes actually? So it will execute from top to bottom, right? So when I say this is one statement, okay, hello one, hello two. If I have multiple statements like this, okay, how the execution flow will be like from top to bottom, right? In general, the execution flow will be top to bottom, correct? So now, so as imagine just I have these imagine I have these 8 lines of code, let me take two more, 910. Okay, 900 total 10 statements I have. If I run this program, so if I run this program, it is going to execute from top to bottom. You see the output. So hello 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So all the 10 lines of code executed from top to bottom, right? So from top to bottom, line by line. Now my requirement would be like somehow I wanted to skip the line number 5. I do not want to execute this. I wanted to skip this. I wanted to skip this line conditionally. Okay, so how I'm going to do it? So conditionally I can execute the line number 5. Conditionally I can execute, I can execute, meaning that, so depends on my condition, I may execute the line number 5, or I may not execute the line number. So here, okay, so here, that's what my as a programmer, that's what as per the requirement I wanted to do that. Now how I am going to inform to the Python interpreter who actually executing my program? So actually, who is going to execute these lines of code? Python interpreter is going to execute, right? So then, so I had to convey, okay, boss, execute this line number 5 only in this particular case, and few other cases don't execute. Just skip that. Okay. So how I'm going to control that? How I'm going to convey? How I'm going to convey that information to the Python interpreter. That's where we have to understand about the control. Like, so we are controlling the execution of this particular line, right? We are controlling this. That's what the point here. And if you look at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so I have some other statements, right? So for example, I wanted to execute this print hello 6 and hello 7, only these 2 lines of code for 10 times, meaning that I wanted to print these 2 lines 10 times. So 10 times in the sense, so are we going to write the logic, the same logic 10 times here, guys? So that is not a good idea, right? That is not a good idea. So what we do is, I will inform to Python interpreter saying that, boss, execute this 2 lines of code, execute these 2 lines of code for 10 times. So I'll convey, okay, to execute these 2 lines, execute these 2 lines for 10 times. So instead of writing these 2 lines 10 times, instead of writing these 10 times, you got my point? Instead of writing these 10 times, so I'm going to convey interpreter bus execute these 2 lines for 10 times. I'm not going to repeat the same code again and again, so which actually leads to code duplicate. So I don't want to write the same code again and again. So instead of that, what I wanted to do is, I wanted to convey somehow I wanted to convey to the interpreter, asking to execute these 2 lines of code for 10 times, asking these 2 lines of code to execute for 10 times. So is that clear? So conditionally we may skip some lines of code, or conditionally I may execute some lines of code repetitively. That can be 1 line of code, that can be 100 lines of code, doesn't matter. So conditionally, so here what I want, so after this line is executed, after this line is executed, so now, so only 1 time it is executed, but a total how many times I wanted to execute these 2 lines here? 10 times. So that is where, so actually Python interpreter has to go with the next line, but instead of that, what I'm saying that, boss, execute this 10 times. So go back to this line and execute it again, execute line number 6 and 7. So that is what second time. After executing this again, you go back to the line number 6, execute 6 and 7. Third time again you go back and execute one more time, like that. So it has to execute up to 10 times. So we are controlling this flow or not? So actual flow is what, after executing this line number 6 and 7, it has to go to the line number 8. But here here in this case, I'm controlling, somehow I'm going to control this to go back. The control is going back and executing line number 6 and 7. That's how I'm trying to control, meaning that we are controlling the flow of execution. We are controlling the flow of execution. Is that clear? Right. So I'll give you a simple example. Okay, that's where you will understand better. Right. So say I wanted to print for 10 times. I wanted to print hello for 10 times. Okay, hello, and the number I wanted to print. Okay, so count basically how many times, what line number or whatever you say, count. So now I'm writing the code now, guys. Okay, I'll explain this later. So for so I'm taking a counter variable initially 0, and then I'm going to have a condition, while condition counter how many times I wanted to print, 10 times, right? So less than, as I started with 0, I can say less than or start with 1. Counter is 1. Now I wanted to say less than or equal to 10. So here I am going to execute this line for 10 times. So what is my counter value is here, I'll keep it. Okay, now what will happen, how many times it is going to print, it is going to print it 10 times, so not one time. So the output, if you look at, so okay, I'm sorry, so I need to increase my counter value every time. Okay, so don't worry, like if you don't understand anything, because first you understand the concept, okay, then we can understand about the syntaxes and all. Okay, so now how many times it is going to print, guys? 10 times. See that output, hello, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, for the same logic, if I wanted to execute for 100 times, so just you add a condition here, 100, that's it. Now it will execute for 100 times. So am I writing this line for 100 times? No, right? I'm writing the line only one time, but executing that for 100 times. So that is how I'm giving the notifications to the Python interpreter. I'm conveying the interpreter, but execute this line for 100 times, or it can be 1,000 times, it can be 1 lakh times, 10,000 times also. Happily it will execute. So I do not have to write 10,000 lines of code. I do not have to write 10,000 lines of code, but I'm able to get that executed for 10,000 times or not. So that is a logic to be repeated. When you have a logic to be repeated for multiple times, then you have to go with this flow control. You have to go with flow controls. So here we are repeating, we are repeating guys, so that's something like conditions, guys. So if, say for example, my counter value is, okay, my counter value is equal, say uh, Let me rejoin then. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fine. I'll be sharing the screen. Just give me a second. Guys, perfect. So can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect then. Right. So what I was saying, about the flow controls. I'm not sure where the wires has gone. Okay, but let me repeat it like quickly. So here, the scenarios will be like that. So where you wanted to execute few lines of code repetitively, or where you wanted to skip the execution for certain lines of code. Okay, so as per this code, so you assume that it is going to execute for 10,000 times. No, but why? Because I have a condition here. Only the counter is 20, then only you print it, otherwise don't print it. So that's what I'm saying. So only the output will be printing, nothing but executing only one case. That is what where the condition is satisfied. That is what conditionally we can control the execution of the lines of statements that you are writing. So that is what control statements talks about. Okay. Okay, to achieve that we have different control statements, guys. We have different control statements. We have conditional statements. Okay, conditional statements. As part of the conditional statement we have if, okay, elif, nothing but else if, okay, and else. So these are the syntaxes, the conditional syntaxes that we are going to follow as part of the conditional statements. The similar way we have something called iterative statements. We have something called iterative statements. So when you look at the iterative statements, so where these statements are going to iterate the logic for the given number of times. Okay, just we have seen something like while loop, right? We executed the same line for 10,000 times in a similar way. Like, so the iterative statements to work with the iterative statements, we have two things: while loop and for loop. So these are also known as looping statements. Is looping statements. Okay, and then we have transfer statements. We have something called transfer statements. We have something called transfer statements. Yes, transfer statements. So what are the different transfer statements we have is break, continue. Okay, we have something called pass. Okay, so these are the transfer statements we have. So we need to understand about these guys. So conditional statements, iterative statements, and transfer statements. We are going to understand about these three. Right. So let's begin with the conditional statements, if statements. Okay. So conditionally, I wanted to execute lines of code. So I'm going to control the execution of the lines of code conditionally. So how can we do that? So let us understand this by considering an example. Okay. So the basic example, guys, the very basic example. Most of you guys are already familiar with this, but still, okay. I wanted to explain because there are few more people who are completely new to the program. Okay, let's understand that. So I'm going to write a program. I'm going to write a program to print the given number is even number or odd number. Given number is even number or odd number. Correct? So that's a very basic program. It's a very basic program, right? Very basic program. Guys, so can you guys ping me in the chat box who knows about that? Who knows about that? So can you write the program for these guys and ping me in the chat box? So I'll just wait for 2 minutes. If anybody can answer, can write the program, please write that and ping me in the chat box. Take 2 minutes. Guys, are you giving a try? Are you trying to do it? I'm just waiting for you. Any of you can write the program and ping me in the chat box. Okay, yeah, do it. Okay, so all right, let me explain you guys. Okay, so what is the logic here? That's what you have to analyze first. So we are going to print. So we have to print it. What we have to print? So given number is even number or odd number. Okay, so for that, so first, what is a given number? We need a number, right? We need a number. So first, read that number. So do we know already how to read a number from the keyboard? Yes. How to read that, guys? A number from the keyboard. So number is equal. We have a function. What is that function? Input function. Please respond. Please respond. So what is the function? Input function. So here I'm going to, yeah, Saurav, perfect. So here I'm going to ask the user, hey user, please enter the number. The user, please enter the number. Okay. Please give the number to tell that to check that is even or odd. Okay, so just any statement, this can be any statement. This, the purpose of this is to understand, like so the user should understand that, oh, the program is asking me to enter some input. Okay, I'll enter some input. So that's that. For that reason, so we are giving this. Now I got a number. Okay, I got a number. But if you look at Saurabh, so your program has a bug. So sorry, Saurabh, your program has a bug. If you can figure it out, check that. Okay, so that has a bug, that has a problem. Okay, so whatever you have written is, you have just done this number %2 is equal to 0, is equal to 0. Then you are printing yes, sir. Yes, you have to convert into integer, otherwise it will be error. So now I'll say given number is even number. Otherwise, so to say otherwise, so okay, or let me say the logic as number mod 2 equal to 1, then I will say what? Okay, this is odd number. Given number is odd number. Correct? So now, so this is straightforward printing statement, nothing to explain. But the whole logic is around this, right? What is this and what is this and what is the syntax? Okay, so the number, given number mod 2. What is this mod, guys? Mod is an operator, right? We have already discussed about that operator, modulus operator. So what it does, it's going to give the remainder, right? So say for I suppose given number is 10, input given number is 10, so this 10 against 10, so it is going to divide by 2. 2 5s are what? 10. And what is the remainder value is? What is the remainder value? So what is the remainder value? 0. So if the remainder is 0, then can I say that is an even number? Of course, right? That's the mathematical thing. So if the number is multiple of 2, or when you divide the number by 2, the remainder is 0, then we can say that is even number. That is even number. That's what the logic here. So we need to extract this. That is what our main goal. So if you are assuming this is the number, okay, and that number I wanted to apply an operator to get the remainder. So what operator I can apply to get the remainder, guys? That is where modulus operator. If you apply this modulus operator on the given number, then so this expression is going to evaluate and returns this remainder. This expression is going to give me what? Remainder value. Now that remainder value I have to compare with another value. What is that? 0. So now I need to compare this remainder value with this 0. So here it will be a comparison. So what is the comparison operator we know? So that is what? To programming we should understand the operators, variables, all the typecasting stuff very clearly. Then only you can write the program. Okay, so here if you look at, so this is what comparison operator, not single equals to. Sorry, you have given single equals, which is wrong. This is assignment operator. This is comparison operator. You have to give double equals to. Okay, you have to give double equals to. Double equals to is going to compare the left hand side value and the right hand side value. If both are same, then it says that okay, so then it returns, the expression returns true. Then expression returns true, otherwise the expression returns false. Okay, so for example I have a number 11. I have a number 11. Okay, I have a number 11. Now I'm doing the same thing here, guys. So 2 5s are what? 2 5s are 10. 2 5s are 10. And what is the remainder in this case? What is the remainder in this case? The remainder is 1, right? So that is what now after applying this expression number mod 2, okay, so the remainder is 1. So it is not 0. So when you compare with this 1 value with 0, what will happen? So this is not same, right? So this is going to return false. This is going to return false. As this is going to return false, this line is not going to execute. When this line will execute, when this expression result true, when this expression result true, then only this line will execute, otherwise it will not execute. Now it comes to here, it checks that number 1 equal to 1 or not. Yes, it is equivalent to, it is equal to 1. So this is going to be like written true here in this case, and it says that given number is odd number, right? So as a whole you should understand this expression now. So this is an expression, okay, so this is an expression that actually tells about the number is even number or odd number, right? So the syntax, if you look at, so okay, let me run this first. Let me run this and show you the problem. Enter the number. Okay, I'm entering 10, guys. Now can you see the problem here? What is the problem? Type error. What is that? Type error. Not all arguments converted during the string formatting. Okay, so meaning that you are trying to apply this number mod to number is of type string, guys. Number is of type string. This is of type string. On string you are applying this arithmetic operation which is not supposed to do, so that is the reason we have to convert the number into what? We have to convert the number into integer. So integer number is equal to int of number. Okay, so now this is what my variable integer number after conversion. So we have to use this. Okay, now what is the type of this, guys? This is of type integer. So because we converted that string into integer, this is a typecasting. We know already typecasting from string into integer. Correct. So now I'm using that variable. Now, so I should not see this error. I should not see this error now. So given number, I'm giving 10. Now you can see the output. Given number is even number. Given number is even number because I have entered 10. Let me run one more time. So here I am giving 11. Now it's saying that given number is odd number. So either it is executing this line or it is executing this line, but not both of them, right? So that is what conditionally we are controlling execution of this statement. Conditionally we are controlling the execution of the statement. That's what the point here. So here if you look at, still this problem is not a perfect problem solution. Okay, so it has still like it's not a recommendable way of coding. Okay, so what is the syntax, guys? What is the syntax for this? So if syntax, okay, syntax, if you look at the syntax, if here condition colon, here if body, okay, can be one or more lines of code. Okay, if body. So this condition should be like, you know, condition can be not. Okay, so condition can be any expression that must be evaluated to Boolean type. Okay, so here the condition must be a Boolean type, guys. So the expression that can be any expression, but that should evaluate to either true or false. That is the whole summary here. So here whatever I am writing here, what is the value of this? Just you print this much, only this much. Okay, so this is going to give me either true or false. So here I am entering 10. What is the value of it? True. Yes. In the other case, it might be false. So only the possible values within the if condition should be true or false. Am I clear, guys? Am I audible? Everybody following? Am I audible? Is it clear? Okay,
yes,
perfect.
yes, audible.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So do you understand this point? So within the if condition, within the brackets, within the bracket, whatever you write it, but ultimately that evaluates to either true or false. It can be an expression or that can be directly true. Okay, or can be an expression, but ultimately that expression must evaluate to either true or false. That is the point, guys. That is the point I have given here. So condition can be any expression that must be evaluated to a Boolean type. That must be evaluated to a Boolean type. That's what, either true or false. That's it. No other things are allowed. Okay. Now, so still is this problem is problem solution is perfect, guys. If you look at this problem, so here assume that I have entered the value 10. Okay, assume that I have entered a value 10, then it comes here and it says that given number is even number, right? And we already coming to know that okay, given number is even number. Then do we need to continue further to check whether the given number is odd number or not? Getting it, guys? So you have only two options, option A and option B. So if I say that okay, you have chosen option A, meaning that what, you have not chosen option B. Again, do we need to check whether do you choose whether did you choose option B or not? Because I'm saying already you have chosen A, then do I still go further and verify? Did you choose option B? Guys, getting my point? You have only two options. Okay, you have only two options, option A and option B. And I already told that. Okay, I already told that. Okay, so you have chosen option A. That's done, right? That's done. If I say you have taken option A, that is done. Then there is no point of going further and saying, okay, you did not choose option B. You have chosen option A, meaning that what you did not choose option B. Again, you don't have to go there and you don't have to verify it. Correct. So here also, like if you add these conditions like this, what will happen? Even though it is saying here itself, okay, given number is even, but still it will further go here and verify this expression, and then it will come out of it. So this is unnecessary, which is unnecessary execution that takes time, CPU's time, which is extra. So this is, we have to control. How are we going to control? Okay, anyhow, let me show you debug, guys. So in PyCharm we can debug the code. So what does it mean by debugging? During the execution time, during the runtime, during the execution time, or during the runtime, I can stop the flow. I'm saying Python interpreter, please hold on here, hold on, and from there I will go slowly, one by one, line by line. Okay, execute this line, then execute this line. I'll monitor the values at runtime. I want to monitor the values at runtime. So how to debug, guys? Just right click and just say debug your program name. Instead of run, you just choose debug. Okay, debug. And before that, you have to keep this breakpoint. Just click on this this border, this red bubble comes automatically. Okay, if you click on it. Now see that it is asking to enter the number. Okay, I have entered 10. Now my flow is hold on here, right, at line number 24. Now the program is not executed completely, guys. The program is not executed completely. It is hold on here, line number 24. So from here I can play with the code to go line by line or to jump into any other breakpoint or something like. So now I wanted to go line by line, so I wanted to go to the next line. Okay, so here this is what console. I have entered value 10, and then the print statement is executed, which is printed true. Then the flow is hold on here in the line number 24. So when I click on this arrow mark, so here step over effect, it's going to the next line. Okay, so it is going to the next line. Now here you can see the runtime values. Integer number value is what, 10. So here you can see in this area, or also here also you can see if you click on this debug. Okay, so variables, you have variable section here, somewhere you can find out. It's hidden actually. Okay, yeah. So here you can see that integer number value is what, 10. Actual number value is what, inside a single quotes you can see the value 10, so which is of type string. That string to integer we have converted. Okay, now it is executed this line, guys. Now again I wanted to move on. Now it is coming to line number 26. It is coming to line number 26, and it evaluates that also. It evaluates that also, and that condition will fail and it will come out of it. But still it is going to this line or not. So that is what not supposed to happen, because we already declared it. We have already declared it. This is a even number bus. Then what is the point of proceeding further? So that is what we should not do it. Okay, we should not do it. So reference, I'm just bringing that. Okay, so we need to avoid this case. We need to avoid this kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm modifying this now. So when you have only two options, then you don't have to verify this, guys. When you have only two options, you don't have to go with this. Just go for else. Okay, in this case we use the syntax as else. Okay, if the condition is true, you say number is even number, otherwise nothing but else, otherwise the number is odd number. That's what you have to say. Okay, now see that, run this debug. Okay, number I'm entering number 10. Okay, now it's coming to here, it's coming to here, that's it. From here it is directly coming out of it or not, so there is no further execution. As soon as it is finished, it will come out of it. So is it clear, guys? Is it understandable? So if else, this is the syntax of if else. Okay, this is the syntax of if else. Okay, so here inside the parenthesis, that can be any expression, but that must be evaluated to true or false. And this is called body of that if block. This is the body of else block. Okay, so I can have multiple lines of code. Okay, number is, I'm printing the number. Now guys, tell me the output. What is the output, guys? Okay, so okay, now what is the output? Can you guys tell me? Come on, guys, please tell me what is the output here if I run this and say my input value is 10. My input value is 10. So this is what 10 I have given. Now tell me what is the output here that you can see, you can guess output. Give me the complete output. Given number is even number. Okay, given number is even number, is even, and what else? Only that much? Only given number is even, that is going to print, or anything else? It also print in else part, correct? Only these two lines of output, or anything else? Anything else? It prints only these two lines, or anything else? Okay. So that is where, that's what the importance of understanding the body. Okay, so this is if block, right? So in Python we have a concept of indentation. We have a concept of indentation. So as soon as, like, you have written a if condition followed by this colon, right, meaning that your if body is starting, and that has to maintain one tab space. This is one tab space. And this line, if you look at this line, this is also maintaining one tab space, right? So meaning that these two lines are belongs to the if condition. These two lines belongs to the if condition. So if my number is satisfied this condition, and if it getting into this, so it will print both the statements, it will execute both of them, and when you look at this else block, so this is maintaining one tab space, but this is not maintaining, right, meaning that this is not related to a else block. This is not related to else block, this is out of else block. So meaning that unconditionally this will execute always. Unconditionally this will execute always, meaning that, so it is no way dependent on either this if condition or else condition. So it is going to print always, it is going to execute always. So the output will be, okay, even number is even number, and the number is 10 if I enter 10, and then also it will print in else part. So just to confuse you guys, I have written the some statement like this in else part, but it is going to execute always. Run it and see. Run. So enter 10. What is the output you see here? What is the output here? You see here, number is even, number is 10 in else part. Now let me give a odd number here. Now you can see given number is odd number only, and in else part is printing again or not. So it's not related to the else, or if it is out of it. Okay, so that is what the point here. The indentation is important, guys. The indentation is important. So this statement is going to execute always, irrespective of the if condition satisfied or not. If the condition is satisfied, all the if body is going to execute. How it is going to identify that how many lines of code belongs to the if body based on the one tab space, based on the indentation. It is going to, maybe in other programming languages you would see something like this, guys, in C or C++, as a block, meaning that this these lines of code belongs to if condition. Okay, so these lines of code, like if you have these lines of code belongs to else block, right? If the condition is satisfied, all this block of lines of code is going to execute. Otherwise, this block of lines of code is going to execute it. But in Python, we don't have this brackets concept. We have indentation concept. Okay, indentation. So this is how we define it. Okay, so if the statement is following one
But
tab space,
multiple lines.
that belongs to if statement. If block. Guys, followed? Any questions, any doubts? Let me know. I think few people are dropping because of the time is up. Okay, let me know if you have any doubts around this.
Sir,
Yes.
why it will show on for true or false? We can't converting in as a boolean. We converting it is integer.
No. I'm not printing that integer number, right? I'm printing this expression. So here it
Okay,
is.
that is okay. In output, why it is showing every time on it is false or true on second line? Yeah. In
Because of
code,
this print.
there is no conversion.
No. This because of this line, it is printing the true or false every time. Because of this, it is printing, guys.
Okay.
If I remove
Okay.
this and execute, you don't see that now.
And one more doubt is, if the line, if the block of statements is single, is it mandatory to keep it indentation?
Yes, mandatory.
Multiple
Indentation is
lines
mandatory. No. For single
within
line also
one
it is
line.
mandatory.
Oh,
For
okay.
single line also it is mandatory. Tab space is mandatory. Okay. If you remove this, it will be syntactical error. Okay, it is not syntactically correct. So you have to maintain one tab space even for a single statement.
Sorry for that. In not indentation, that column.
Which column?
If the with the single statement, with that column removes, is it work or an error?
I'm not understanding your question,
If
but yeah, tell me what to be modified here. Tell me. How do you want me to write?
if int percentile 2 equal to number, after that that semicolon remove.
Okay.
Yeah. And next taken in put it on indentation and print given number. Is it
Like
work
this?
or not?
No, man. That's the
Yeah,
syntax that we have to follow. That's a syntax we have to follow. So see the syntax here. So syntax is if condition followed by this colon, then if body with one tab space indentation. Okay, this is the syntax you have to follow. Okay. Right. So okay. So any other doubts? So tomorrow we'll talk about nesting of if, meaning that inside if we can write another if statement. Inside else we can write another if statement. That basically combinations. We'll see tomorrow. Hope this is clear for everyone. The flow control, what are the flow controls, and then conditional statements. We started with the conditional statements. As part of that, just we discussed about if else. Tomorrow we'll see if else ladder, if else, if else ladder. Then we'll see nesting of the loops. Okay, no, sorry, nesting of the if conditions. After that, we'll move on to the loops, while and for loop. The loop. After finishing this if else stuff, right? Then we'll move into while condition and for condition. You wanted to loop this? Yes, you can do it. If you want, you can do it. So meaning that I wanted to know all the numbers from 1 to 100, like even numbers and odd numbers. Then you can do it for every number in the range of, you take 100. So this is how you can loop it. But if you are familiar with this, you take it. So you have to maintain one tab space. So here it will be number. Now it is going to be like start from 0 and it will go up to 100. It will tell that. So every time the number is even number or odd number. Okay, it says that it tells for all the stuff like this. You can do that. That's fine. So this now it's not required. So it's going to tell you like 99 odd number, or 98 even number, 97 odd number, 96 even number, like that. It tells all. Okay, anyhow, I will tell you about this. Okay, don't have to worry about it. I'll tell you. I'll talk about that tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay, this is just a one-time execution. Whatever the given number, that's the even number, odd number it is going to say. That's it. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? I'll be sending this notes. Okay. Hope you guys are getting the notes. Okay, guys. If you don't have any other questions, yeah, let's wind up today. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay. Guys, like maybe session might be starting like 5 to 10 minutes delay, because my 7 to 8 session is like dragging with the question and answer. So please hold on. Like if any delay, maybe 8 to 10 or 8:15 we will start. So don't have to worry about that. If there is no session, you will get the notification. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye. Talk to our admin, our organizer, Shiv Shankar. You will get it. Okay.